Well, welcome to part 3 of my 1935 Atwater Kent series.
Thank you kindly.
Now my goal today here is to rewire the chassis and transformer that you see here, and I really want to get the radio to play in this episode. It's a big task, but hopefully I can do it. So let's just start this off and take the transformer apart so I can rewire it.
Okay, let's do it.
From now on, everything you do, I'll be watching.
I'll be watching you.
I'm watching.
But I will be watching you, studying your every move. And if I find that you are trying to corrupt my firstborn child, I will bring you down, baby. I will bring you down to Chinatown.
That looks in pretty good shape.
Not bad.
The transformer is not painted black. This looks like a brownish color here. I wonder if I could polish this up.
We're gonna need red paint.
There we go. It's very organized in the way the wires are attached. So this is going to be easy to rewire this. Let me show you the wire I'm going to use. I'm going to use a combination of a cloth covered wire and this wire here. This is called Tefzil wire. It's made for aerospace industries. This is 20 gauge, and so is this. It should look neat with all these colors, huh? Okay, let me use this and start to rewire this.
What is seen is not always what is real.
Your skill is extraordinary.
Let's see if we can get these clean.
It's Brasco!
That's looking a little rough. That one's a little better, but I think I'm going to have to paint these. Here's the tuner, and I fixed the wheel here. I put on some rubber there, and I made a video out of that. So let's take a look at that video, and I'll show you how I did that. It's time to put some new rubber on this tuning wheel here. The rubber that was on this was stiff, and it just fell off here. Just rotten. So I went to the auto store and I bought some vacuum tubing. So I figured I can put this in like this and glue it, and that should fix it. What do you think? But before I do that, let me clean up this this wheel here. It's pretty filthy. Then let's see if we can super glue the ends here. Let that dry real good. Then I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put some silicone glue in here. And put that in there. And see if that works. What do you think? Let's give it a shot, huh? Okay, got the wheel looking pretty good. I soaked it in lacquer thinner. And I roughed up the inside edge here. So when I finally put this in there and silicone it, it should stick better. What I thought I'd do was, I've got this little piece of O-ring here. I think I'll glue this in between here, so when I join them together, that will strengthen it better when I glue it. Let's just try that.
I don't like it, but it might work.
That's not working very well. Let me trim that piece.
Seek professional help.
Got glue everywhere.
have it work.
Okay, I'll let that dry thoroughly. Then we'll put this on here. Let's see if I can glue this without making a mess. I'm going to use this GE silicone glue. I haven't used this particular brand, but hopefully it'll work. I'm just going to apply some right here in the groove.
Oh, groovy, baby. Yeah.
Even it out a little bit. Wipe my hands. Let's put this on. I'll start with the section that I cut here. Whenever I'm gluing, I'm just like that character Pigpen in the Peanuts cartoon. Well, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that old Buzz screws up from time to time.
Oh, brother!
Okay. I mess up a lot. But when I do screw up, I never try to hide it. I put it right up there for me and others to see and to learn from. I'm going to show you the screw up as captured live on camera. It's quite painful for me to watch, but let's take a look at it. Gonna be very, very careful with this, baby. This dial here, I cleaned the top of it off. It was pretty dirty, but if you look on the back here, now I used a Q-tip. You can see this area here. I took off some of the dirt. I'm not sure if this is paint or ink. I don't want this to come off, but I need this cleaned. So I'm going to experiment and get some water and see if we can clean this up. Don't go away. I may completely ruin this dial. I put a black background on this so you can see it better. This area here, you can tell that's been cleaned with a cotton swab. And you just try using a little soapy water right here. Looks like it's paint. Oops. You bonehead.
Come on, man.
As you heard there, I sort of predicted it, but at the time, I was just half kidding. But all is not lost. When you mess up, you just gotta fix it. Here's what I did. I went to Radio Days, looked up Atwater, Kent, and they had the exact same dial. Right here. So for $38.40, I ordered that, and I just got it in. Let me take a look at it, and we can compare the two. Here's the original one, and here's the one from Radio Days. You can see the new one is very crisp. Even before I wrecked this, it was not very crisp. This Atwater Kent was smeary like that, and the red was kind of running together. When I cleaned it, I just enhanced that. But I think this one's going to look real good in there. As far as this is concerned, I never really had this happen to me before.
Yeah, right.
I heard about it, read about it, and I thought that's never going to happen to me. I'll just test the corner like I was doing before. I put the wet swab on there, It looked okay. Wasn't smudging. Then I went to town on it. Lesson learned, don't be in such a hurry.
You stupid bonehead.
I have replaced all the wires. It only took me about half an hour. Got rid of all this crappy wire. Doesn't that look better than what it did? What I think I'll do here is I think I'll mask this off and we'll paint this my trademark red.
No way, Jose!
What do you think?
How dare you suggest such a thing?
Let's do it. It's time to paint these clamshells. Since this is a dark brown, the closest thing I've got is Kona brown. There's a little bit left in that can, so let's not waste it.
I'll be faithful forever and ever, dear. I'll be faithful, faithful to you. No matter what may come, I'll always stand beside you. When days are dark, I'll take your hand and guide you. I'll be faithful. You'll always be in.
Now sometimes when you paint, it doesn't come out quite the way you want it. Now this was really shiny, so I knocked the shine off. But if you look in the back here, this is a lot darker. So I prefer the darker than this. I don't know if that quite looks right. So I'm going to repaint it using this dark walnut, and we'll see what that looks like. Sometimes this is just trial and error. Hey, that's a good motto. I think I'll use that. Now I thought once I had that rubber on there that the wheel would turn and this gear would engage with this gear and turn the tuning cap. But that's not the case. I found out later this thing's got to have a rubber tire on it.
What?
Also, this is going to have a rubber tire on it too.
Well, shut my mouth.
Now I learned this from a guy named Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob.
So there's the famous Bob of Nova Scotia.
Hello there, Buzz.
Hi, Bob. Now Bob used this moldable glue that dries to a hard rubber finish. He made the diameter of the bottom tire too small, so he had to put some yellow heat shrink on there to make the diameter larger. What I'm going to do here is I ordered some rubber washers.
That's the best damn rubber on the market.
Hopefully these will work. One on here and one on the bottom there. Now Bob gave me the dimensions. This particular inside hole here is 1/4 inch, and the rubber washer's got to be 9/16 of an inch. So if we measure this, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's about 13/16 of an inch here. So I've got to take 5/16 of an inch off here. So I was thinking I could stick this maybe in a drill and spin it, and taking some sandpaper and just sanding this. Now the one on the bottom, it's got to be 13/16. Now this one here It's just about right on 13/16. But the problem with this one is this is like a 1/4 inch hole, and it's got to be a lot bigger. So I've got to grind the inside hole out, and I bought some grinding tools. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this segment. See if I can make these rubber tires on here. I think I'll start off with this one here that goes on the wheel. The wheel comes off. So I got to make this into 9/16. Let's do it. Okay, I've got the drill. I don't know how long this is going to take, but I figure it's going to take a while. Let's just see how this goes here. It's about 11/16, so I only need 2/16 more. Not bad.
Simply because you near me. Oh, funny when you near me. I've been moving for longer. Heaven is in your eyes. Bright as the stars under. Oh, is it any wonder? Oh, baby, I'm your moon love. Why stop the thing? Weather, this little dream might fade. We put our hearts together. Now we are one. I'm not afraid if there's a cloud above. If it should rain, we'll let it.
Okay, let's put the wheel on the tuner.
Forget it, baby. I'm in the mood for love.
Remember in the first episode that this one piece was bent in like that? I since straightened that out with a hammer. This seafold bob from Nova Scotia was right. I'll silicone it later if it works. Alright, that should turn. Let's try it. Hey, look at the wheel moving. I believe this is the fine tuning here.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Success. Now we got to put that on the other one. Okay, I'm going to start on the chassis here and rewire this. I'm going to start by doing the voltages to the sockets, the 6.3 volts. So we'll start in this area here, and after I get that completed, I'll show you what it looks like. When you're looking at this 2.5 days later, you're probably saying, damn, he didn't do anything. Let me tell you, I've done plenty. It just doesn't show.
Okay.
This is very time-consuming work. I did a lot of work here. I had to take this band selector out so I can move it. There was a lot of wires under here and under here that you couldn't get to. So this took a lot of work. This has been easy to work on because it's nice and flat. There's nothing on the top of it. But I'm going to have to start putting the IF cans in and the other coils and get this thing finished. So I'm going to start on the IF coils. I'm going to put new wires on here. Shine this up. Let me get that on there and then I'll show you what that looks like. Well, there's the IF transformer. This particular one's got 6 wires on it. 2 here, 2 here, and then there's 2 here. Looks pretty with those new wires on there, huh?
Pretty.
I marked this. This is A8. This is A9. I marked this A8, A9. So I want this go like that. So I take this thing, I can never get these in very well. I'm going to install that and wire it up. Hopefully I can get this done by the end of tomorrow. Time's a wasting. Get to work. Oh, I forgot. I'm going to put a $1 bill in here. Now, if I can get it in there.
Give me back my dollar.
Maybe in 100 years, somebody open that up. Well, there's my progress so far.
Nice!
I'm about 75% done, and it's looking pretty good. The more of that crappy wire I take out of there, the better it looks. What do you think?
Hey, I like it.
Let me show you the top of the chassis. As you can see, I got the 2 IF cans in there. I got the fake capacitor in there. That's just for show.
Show off.
I'm going to mount the real ones underneath. Here's the choke assembly. That was pretty dirty. I cleaned it up. Here's one of the RF coils. You can see I used nail polish on that after I cleaned it up. That kind of makes it pop. Let's take a closer look at that. You can see it a lot better. This piece here is an insulator. The original one got all messed up when I was using the naval jelly on this chassis. So I made this. And I'm going to show you how I did that when I clean up this other coil that goes over here. Let me show you that now. Here's one of the RF coils. You can see how ratty it looks.
Yeah.
I'm going to clean this up and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. But originally, this was like an insulator. So I'm going to make a new one. Now I have this thing here. It helps me make circles. And this one looks like the exact same size here. So I'm going to copy that onto this.
I sailed away to treasure island, and my heart stood still as I landed on the silvery shore. We met that day.
And I'm going to punch some holes out here. These holes are for these 2 holes here.
The smile you gave me was the treasure I'd been craving for. Then came those moments of bliss in the shade of the sheltering palm. I still remember your kiss as you nestled within my arms.
Lines up pretty good. So I want to use that later. I'm going to clean this up first with some rubbing alcohol.
And I found that gold when you gave your golden love to me.
80 years of dirt. Okay, we'll let that dry. I'm going to use some of this nail polish on here.
Oh, brother.
And just brush it on here. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Then I'll rewire that and install it on the chassis. Okay, there it is installed. I think it looks nice. I like that outline of that little circle thing I cut out. Looks good.
You're darn tootin'.
Well, it's time to put the transformer in there after I repainted it.
That looks pretty good, Barney.
There. Well, I've got one more tire to make. So let's take this hub off here and measure the diameter. See how much rubber I have to grind off. Let's see here. It's about 500 thousandths of an inch, which is about a half an inch. Let me measure this rubber washer here. I've already grinded down a little of it. It's about 373 thousandths of an inch, which is approximately 3/8 of an inch. So I need to remove another 1/8 inch, I believe. Let's do it. It's about 7/16. Let's see if this will fit in here. Get over there. I think we can put this on the drill and start using that. Let's just see what this is here. That's 450 thousandths. So this would be good to bring that down a little bit more. I think we might be able to slip this over here. So I'm going to put some of this silicone on here. Now I'm going to make a mess here. But here goes. This doesn't actually go there. The wheel goes there. I just put it up here so I got better access to it. That goes down here. Okay. Since we got that on there, let's put this on. I told you I was like Pigpen. Okay, put on 2 tires, plus the tire I did the other day. We'll let that dry, and we'll try it out. Okay, I've got that together. Now if you see here, the bottom tire is engaged to this wheel here, and that is the course adjustment. Take a look at that.
Brilliant!
Now if I flip this down, it's going to engage this tire, and this is the fine adjustment. See how that doesn't move very fast like the other one? This thing here is very critical. Took me a while to get that in the right position and bend it, because it puts pressure on this mechanism here. If it's not on there right, and then it will start to slip. Well, well, well. Let the joyous news be spread. The chassis is now rewired. What a job that was. But I think it looks pretty damn good.
Excellent.
No more ugly wire for this chassis. So I saved up all this ugly wire just to show you guys. Look at that. The ugliest wire you'll ever see.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
I'm not completely done. I gotta wire in the power resistor to drop the voltage. Plus I gotta add a fuse. But other than that, it is ready to go.
Hallelujah!
We can apply power to this and play some music, hopefully. Or maybe see some smoke. I don't know. Well, it's time to put this dial assembly together. This goes on like that. And it's got these wheels here. Now this is the dial pointer. There's like one here, one here, and one here. Now if you take a look at this one, it looks like it's got like a, I don't know if that's a piece of paper or what, but it's like a diffuser. Let me demonstrate that here. You got a light here. You see that? That diffuses the light.
Yes, I see.
This one here, they're both missing here. There's supposed to be that piece of paper or whatever on here. If you look at these, see how the light doesn't diffuse it? It just goes right through that. It doesn't make for a very crisp looking arrow there. This is parchment paper. It's used for baking. If you don't know what it is, you can Google it. We'll see if that makes a good diffuser. You can see the sharpness of the arrow now. So I think that might work. See what this looks like over here.
I gotta go pee.
I'm going to glue that on these two areas here.
I have to poop.
Just like this one.
In the distant gloom, the woodlands clear and cool. Oftentimes my thoughts revert to scenes of childhood, where I first received my lessons, nature's school. But one thing that is missing in the picture, without her face it seems so incomplete, so incomplete. I long to see my mother in the doorway, as she stood there years ago, her
There.
Years have passed since I strolled by the river, arm in arm with sweetheart Mary by my side. It was there I tried to tell her that I loved her. It was there
I've been worried about these arrows here not being centered. I'm going to line it up straight across and then tighten up these set screws here. You can see one of the set screws in that hole there. I got those arrows pretty much centered off, so let me just tighten that. Gotta get it level. I may have to readjust this later, but I think it's good enough for now. Okay, now I can put this on there. It's going to hook up these wires that go underneath here. And we can power this thing up.
Yes!
After 2 months, I'm anxious to see if this thing works. I'm sure you feel the same. So don't go away. We're going to have some excitement.
Hey, Buzz!
What?
You're never gonna get that radio to work.
You want to bet?
Okay, I'll bet you a bottle of Crown Royal whiskey that radio will not play when you power it up.
Okay, I'll take that bet. I know this is going to work.
That's one way to get a free bottle of booze.
Okay, the time is here.
Holy cow!
So let's put some power to this. I've got the speaker gear wired in there. I got this meter hooked up to the B+. We got our box here. Looks like the tubes are all in there. I've got the antenna hooked up. So let's turn this on.
I'm so excited.
That rascal Dickel doesn't believe in me? To hell with him. This is going to work, and I'm going to win that bet. Here we go. $30 volts. $60 volts. The current draw is looking good. I went over this with a fine-tooth comb, and I'm sure everything is wired right. 90 volts. I'm picking up some B+ there. I think this is going to draw about 0.6 amps. It's about 0.5 now. So I think we're good to go up to 115. Yeah, I hear crackling on the speaker. Let's tune it. Uh-oh, not getting anything. Come on, baby. Pick up something. Oh. Wrong band.
What a bonehead.
Well, there. This is the broadcast band. When I'm on the broadcast band, we get both lights on here. The next one is the police band. The top one goes out. Then this bottom half shows. The police band is at the green area here, which is no longer a police band. And then the regular short wave is the next one over, and this top one should light up. Well, I don't have a good enough antenna to pick up any short wave, so let's go on the broadcast band. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh.
But Tucker was making a audition. He mentioned some stuff. Tucker Carlson, which is the most watched cable news show in America, but still does one.
Dickel, pay up, baby.
Oh, crap.
I got the volume all the way up. Stations aren't too loud, but
What's going on today? They're like,
doesn't look like I'm picking up many stations. But at least it's working.
Не могу описать этой встречи, все в тайне пока, но свершится, мы ждем. Вздохнет.
How old is Charlie McCarthy?
He's 12 years old.
12 years old. How interesting. How does the little nipper sing me a song?
Yeah, well, if you give me $10.
$10, eh? He's more than 12.
He's really older than he looks, you see. He was hewn out of an old oak tree.
His face looks as though it's hewn out of a piece of sassafras root.
How is that so, huh? Well, if they had to cut your face out of a piece of wood, they'd have to use redwood for a nose. And an ample bit of it, too, I might say.
You do, eh?
Charlie.
He's a pretty fresh little punk, isn't he? Redwood for a nose. You're full of termites.
Well, I must say, this was a very successful episode. My goal was to get this radio rewired, then put everything back together, and then have it play. And by golly, I did it. I hope to have this series wrapped up by part 4. There's still a cabinet to finish, so that's going to take a lot of work. So we shall see. This is Old Buzz 1151 signing off. See you next time. Good night, everybody.
There's no way I'm letting Buzz drink that good bottle of booze. I'll just give him this cheap stuff that I bought the other day, and he will never be the wiser. The first thing I'll do is pour this good stuff into this bottle here. Next, I'll pour this bottle of cheap whiskey into that Crown Royal bottle. Here you go, Buzz. I opened up the bottle for you. After all that work, you deserve the best.
Thank you, Dickel. And now, I get to enjoy the fruits of my labor. Oh boy, I deserve this. Down the hatch. Smooth. That's the best whiskey I ever had. Thank you, Dickel.